Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today we are going to be working down on the expansion table. While we don't have the section of wood that I need to continue this raised area where the boutique hotel and the police station is, we're going to save that for another day. What I'm actually going to focus on is this corner right here. And essentially what's going to happen is we are going to use this base plate here. We're going to strip it of all the pieces first, and then we're going to put it right about there. And then we are going to work out how to build up the rock face on either side, because it's going to come across like this and then around this way as well. And then the train track is going to come on top of it. And so there's a lot of other variables going on here, but we do need to start by removing everything off of this base plate. I did already start doing that, as you can clearly see, but I haven't finished it yet, so we're going to start with that, and then we can actually get to the fun stuff, which is adding in all of the rock work and the train tracks and things like that. All right, so after a lot of deconstruction, this base plate is finally clear. And so before we get started on this, I'm going to put all these pieces away, because if I don't do it now, it's never going to happen. So I'm going to put all this stuff away, and then we can start to map out how exactly I want this to go. Like I talked about earlier, I was thinking a rock edge along this side here, and then it kind of curves here, and then it'll come down this way, and then the train track can be up top here at the edge of the cliff. And I think that'll be pretty cool. It might end up being a retaining wall on this side, but I definitely want rock edge here. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to go yet, but that is what today's video is for. And then down here, maybe a little bit of sand at the bottom, but definitely mostly just water. I don't know how deep the water is going to be, like if it's going to be like the dark tan and the lighter blues here, or if it's going to be blue and dark blue. So that's another thing that we need to figure out in today's video. But first, let me put all this stuff away, and then we can get started on figuring out all of the logistics here. All right, so this base plate is pretty much ready to go, and we're going to talk about it in just a second, but I did go ahead and sort pretty much everything out, which is good to see. And so what you'll notice here is that this is pretty much just a very rough outline of what I'm thinking this is going to look like. So like I talked about, the train track is going to be up here, and it's going to be right up against the cliff edge here, and then it's going to kind of curve in, and then it's going to come over here, and then obviously cut off because this is the edge of the table. And then in here is probably going to be a little bit of sand, some rocks and things like that, and then the water is going to be out here. And then these markers over here are just the 16 studs, and that is just how much space I need for the train track. So as long as the rock panels don't overlap that, I think we're good. And so with that being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and start building this up. I don't know what to start with. I'm going to start from the bottom up and then kind of work it from there, I think. But I don't know if I should lay down how big the water is going to be, or if I should start with the rock panels. I'm not totally sure how that's going to go, but I guess we're going to find out. So I'm going to try a couple of things, and hopefully next time I have a clip for you, there will be some decent progress. Okay, so I lied in that last clip. I said I was going to start from the bottom and work my way up, but I figured it would actually be easier to start with this. And then so now that I have these 16 by 16 plates in, I also went ahead and I added the track on top, and I connected it to this curve here. Now this curve is going to have to get redone, because once I get that third-party switch in, this whole thing's going to have to come out. I'm going to have to put the switch in, an additional segment of track, and then round out the curve, and then we can figure out this whole section here. But I figured this would be good to have just to see if everything lines up, and it does, which is good. And I put these on essentially really, really tall Mills plates. As you can see, it is 5 Duplo bricks and then 1 normal system brick and then 2 plates. So that is 11 bricks and 2 plates tall, and then I put the 16 by 16s on top of that. So then it was the same height as the base plates. And then now with that, I can actually see how much space I really have for the rock panels, and then how much of an overlap I guess I need. And so with that, I can take this and I can kind of start to play with it from here. And I think I have a general idea of what I want now. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to start working on the beach, I think, and then I'm just going to place the rock panels on top of that, and then we can start building the slopes up. All right, so this is what I've got so far. So last you saw, it was just the train track up top here, but I went in and I added the coastline here, and I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to save the blue plate and the different shades of that for a later point, probably in this video, but still later, because I want to focus on the rock work right now. So pretty much this is a more completed side, so I'll show you that first. And this is a clean edge simply because it's going to go right here, and you're going to see it when you walk in the room. So pretty much what I'm going to do is just continue this down, and then I'm going to have to find a way to curve it. I think I'm going to bring this in a little bit just so I can actually use this as like a stepping point. And then that is pretty much that there. And I'm starting to do this side now. And then I think it's probably easier if I build up this side and then I find a way to meet the two in the middle as opposed to just doing this and then working my way out. I guess it doesn't really matter, but that is kind of where I'm at with it at the moment. And I think this is looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this. So let me continue working on this and I will show you guys what I come up with, because hopefully in the next clip, most of this will be done. I can't guarantee that, obviously. I do have a lot of pieces, though, because we did destroy that mountain recently. And just a whole bunch of other pieces like rock panels and the corner rock panels and other bits and bobs and things like that. So I'm going to get to work and I will be right back. All right, so I'm making a lot more progress on this. I think this side is looking really, really good. This side, not so much. It's a little jagged for my liking, but I think it's okay. I don't think it's the end of the world. And right now what I'm focusing on is this area right here. Trying to figure out how exactly I want this to look. It is a lot harder than I thought it would be, but I'm still going through and I'm taking my time with it just to make sure that I get it all right and to make sure that everything is properly supported. So, except for this one piece, but everything else is pretty good. And so I just need to go in, add some support for this, and then we can continue working up. And hopefully once we get to the top, then we can start to figure out how this is going to kind of like roll over, because I have an idea for it, but I don't know how to talk about it. I think I'm just going to have to build it and show you guys what I'm talking about. So let me get to work on this, and then hopefully once this is done, it'll be pretty soon and I can give you guys another update. All right, so this is what everything is looking like now, and I am much happier with this. I think this looks really, really good. I am very happy with this. I think it looks great. I'm probably going to change out this one slope here, but other than that, this is looking really good. And this is kind of what I was talking about with having it kind of roll over. I do plan on adding some smaller slopes into here to kind of, I don't know how to say it, to kind of like roll it over to make it look like it kind of is coming out of the ground here and then like down this cliff. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But other than that, there's not really a lot to talk about. It's just more work essentially. And so the only thing left to do is to finish up this area over here, bridge the gap between the two, and then we can start to add all the details on the top. But I'm really happy with this. I think this is looking really, really good. And so let me go ahead and get that section done and also replace that slope there. And then we can start to work out all the rest of the details. Okay, so I went ahead and I finished up this top section here. I just need to grab a cheese slope for that little section right there. And this is pretty much what it's all looking like now. And what you're seeing up at the top here is a little bit, a very small fraction of what I was talking about and how I wanted to add some slopes to give it a little bit more depth. And then I just need to do that for the rest of this. I want it to be pretty uneven. These are just kind of sporadically placed around. But once I fish out a bunch of more slopes from my dark gray slope bin, then I can go in and add some more details to this, and then that is pretty much going to be that. And then we can do the water, and then we can see what this looks like once it's all done. I think this is looking really, really good. I'm happy with this. A lot of pieces and a lot of time have gone into this, so I hope you guys are enjoying this, and make sure to click subscribe as well as stay tuned for future episodes where we also go in and build more of these modules here. This is going to look pretty good when it is up against the rest of the city here, and I can't wait to add that corner section here with the train track and that start of the train bridge here. I think that's going to look really, really awesome. And so with that being said, I'm going to go in and I'm going to finish up the top, and then we're going to work down here and we'll see how everything looks. All right, so I think that looks a lot better. And then if you come to the side here, you can get a better picture of what exactly I was talking about earlier. I don't know if I explained it very well, but I wanted the rock face to come up and then kind of come over a little bit. Obviously, I would love to throw more slopes at this, but after a certain point, it's just not worth it. I don't have an infinite number of every single piece, so I have to kind of be smart about it. And I think this gets the idea across without throwing too much at it. So I think this is good. I think I'm going to leave it like this for now, and then we're going to wrap up the ocean here, and we are going to put the plates in, put the tiles in, because I do actually have a lot of them. So we're going to be able to use those, and then we are going to also round out that corner as well, because I want to have it blend and look really nice. So I don't want it to just have a hard cutoff there. I want to at least blend this. I can't do the entire thing just because that curve there needs to get remodeled, but I can at least do like a part of it. So let's try that out, and hopefully this will look really good. All right, so I've been pretty busy, and I went ahead and I added the underlying plate here as well as the tiles on top, and I opted to go with the dark tan underneath right at the edge to give the illusion that sand is underneath it, and then the medium azure for the shallow water, the dark azure for the slightly deeper water, and then regular blue out in the corner here. And then this is just going to continue down this way to the edge, and then it's going to rotate that way, and then we'll kind of worry about that later. But I'm pretty happy with this. I think this is looking really, really good. As you can see, I also connected it up to the other base plate here, and so now the train track is all connected. So technically from that corner right there, the train could start there and then go all the way around the entire city and then come through here and then stop here. But we're not going to run the train today just because there's no point. It's just going to fall off the edge. Hopefully one day we'll be able to, hopefully in the near future actually, we'll be able to get that in and then get the train going around here. And then eventually it can switch off and then come this way. But for the time being, what I did work on was also this area here. I added some green plate. I can't do the entire thing because I don't know how the switch track is going to go in here. So I'm just kind of leaving an open section out here. But I wanted to get some of the ferns in just to kind of show you guys what my vision for this was. I want it to be similar to this. So I wanted to take some of that foliage and bring it over to here. And I think that looks pretty good. I think this whole area is actually looking really, really good. So this is a little bit of a farther away shot. And as you can see, the edge of the table here lines up pretty nicely with that. So I think that looks good. I'm happy with this. I think this is looking really, really nice. And so on that note, that's going to wrap up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like it and subscribe, as well as click the bell notifications so you don't miss any future uploads. If you guys have any feedback for me on anything you want me to add to this module, make sure to drop a comment down below to let me know what you think. But once again, seriously, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.